Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 447th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So Armand Hammer is an act you've likely heard me at least discuss on the channel before, because even though I've only done one actual review for the duo when I covered 2018's Paraffin, which I'll leave a link for in the description below, they did end up taking the #1 spot on my top 50 hip-hop albums of 2023 with We Buy Diabetic test strips. As you likely know, Armand Hammer is comprised of the enigmatic rapper-producer Elucid and of course my favorite lyricist currently doing it, Billy Woods, who showed up on the page a myriad of times. From 2012's History Will Absolve Me, to his magnum opus in my eyes, 2015's Today I Wrote Nothing, to 2019's Hiding Places with Kenny Siegel, and 2020's Brass with More Mother, Haram is yet another collaboration, this time between Armand Hammer and The Alchemist, who met through both being in the same circle as Earl Sweatshirt, who shows up on this LP through the most famous track, Falling Out the Sky, which has a super chill, serene, and memorable beat from The Alchemist. This is the first song I want to actually share some bars from, and I have a few of those moments since the sheer poetry in their lyricism has always been the biggest draw to Armand Hammer for me. And I want to start with Billy Woods, who takes the second verse following Earl, coming in with, "Woke up on the West Coast for the first time in my life. Drove cross country, but I remember those flights. Genuflected when I heard the weed price. White boys with the weed pipes. Sunny days, sunny nights. Mighty clouds and northern lights. I was always bright. So no sooner than we touched down, I'm seeing how we could get home and be right. It's hard to live in the moment, but I guess I had a gift. Hawaiian so potent I'm zoning off bong rips. I painted houses all summer, they paid by the shift. My boss was an enterprising white kid, eagle-eyed everything you did, shit gig, but I didn't quit. MJG and 8-Ball spitting out the whip, spliffs with Keef at the tip. It felt sleepy at night, but I liked that, felt like you could relax. Like you could disappear, like I wasn't surrounded by the past. Months passed and we going back and forth in the back of my mind, the plan already hatched. The door panels already stashed, Illinois state troopers just waiting for time and space to cross our path." Then after him we have Elucid, who gives one of his most memorable performances in my opinion on this track, rapping, "Walking four corners of God's country, group calisthenics and morning fog, hat skill views, cat still yawning, few hundred miles from hot garbage and smog, 89 fine Air Max 90 first run, fresh lungs, sweet blood, light bugs spark blackness. Back at the annex past bedtime, hissing, praying nobody catch us, zapped, baby powder homie sock if you fell asleep first, pummel body la-di-da, batteries added vicious cycle, hurt people. Days of summer carefree haven't found an equal. We all knew the Isleys before the Beatles. Red moon over the rec room in direction of discovering. Idle time wondering, thumbing 70s ebony mags, dripping red icy on the pages. Learned to swim in a pool where a boy drowned last year. Wax in my ear, I heard voices I couldn't make out from the deep end. When I dipped my head under, come again? Burrs stuck to my socks, pinch every few steps on the way to the graveyard. Old man Cropsy's head in my footlocker." There's a good number of stellar lyrical displays on this LP, most of which are pretty highly conceptual, and the grimy, avant-garde yet understated production perfectly matches the subject matter and aesthetic. But if there's one moment that I can't leave this review without discussing, it's the top-tier Billy Woods verse that closes out the final track, which has a beautiful and unique, and I think kind of underrated Alchemist instrumental that I don't really ever hear anyone bring up, and a pretty mesmerizing Elucid hook to boot. This isn't just my favorite verse on the entire album, it also happens to be one of the most poignant and touching pieces of writing that Billy has ever penned, which he starts with, "Said okay to save face, but she never forgave. It's only so many ways you can say grace. In truth, she rather cry at your grave. All black regalia. We back not speaking, back behind Bougainvillea you can't peek in. Marginalia busy with symbols and equations. The story too simple to calculate it, payment post dated. The pavement gave way to a thicket of thorns, where the body lay naked as the day I was born. She rocked my teeth in a necklace, gulped blood from a horn. Ruby woo face in Mecca, hair disheveled and torn. She left what was left in a ditch. She dreamed of the sex. She finished on top and howled in the crook of my neck. She dragged the bones home and built a bed. She drank rosé out the skull but held it gentle as my living head. The Alchemist may have been the only contributor in terms of instrumentals here, outside of Earl Sweatshirt, who co-produced the track he appeared on, but we do get a few other enjoyable guest appearances besides Earl, including Curly Castro, Amani, Fielded, Quelle Chris, and Kayana. When it comes to the honorable mentions this time around, I want to recommend tracks like Roaches Don't Fly, Black Sunlight, Indian Summer, God's Feet, Pepper Tree, Chicharrones, Squeegee, and Robert Moses. As for my overall top 3 favorites, I really have no choice but to go with Sir Benny Miles, Falling Out the Sky, and Stone Fruit. Thank you for watching my 447th video. Next time we have a Golden Age icon who's actually new to the page, so be sure to check in for that one. And if you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moment off this super engaging listen is. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.